Good morning. This is Renshi Lisa, and I am talking to you from Bushido Karate Dojo in Casco, Maine. And what I'm going to start doing is on Friday mornings, I'm going to come up into this beautiful dojo. I'm so blessed to have this opportunity. This is my house too. So sometimes kids come here and they're like, "Wow, your house is so big," and I'm like, "Yeah, we're super lucky." So on Friday mornings, what I'd like to do is give you a quick recap of what I learned this week. And one thing I've known for a long time as a karate instructor is that it's actually pretty easy to be a bully. It's really easy to be a bully in our situation because it's in our culture to be like a dictator, right? Because we have to be in charge. We're in charge of a big group of people, and we're constantly, telling people what to do and sharing, and usually in such a good way. We're sharing, this is how you do a block, this is how you do a punch, this is how I'm going to critique that so that you can be better. And yet sometimes there can be so many plates spinning at the same time that we can sort of lose our empathy a little. And empathy is so important. And so anyway, I just had a moment this week where, I had all those plates spinning at the same time, and I made a wrong judgment call. And then, what becomes so important after? And I think I know people in my world who are really, really bad at apologies. And I think it's so important as the instructor and as the person in charge, good morning, George, as the person in charge to say you're sorry and say you're sorry effectively. And so what I would say to you is that when you are in charge of a group of people, whether you're a teacher or a parent or a coach or whatever it is you do, when you have the power, in the situation to be making the decisions, first, make sure you're making the best decisions. And then if a decision should go wrong, fess up to it and say you're sorry and be authentic about it. And it's really important. And also learn from it. If you don't feel bad about a situation and spend time in that place, it won't teach you anything. So accept those emotions as they come, and then ask yourself, what am I going to do about it? So that was one of the things that I learned this week. And then one of the other things I learned last night, I got a great night's sleep last night, and so I was just reminded how important a great night's sleep can be. And now the last thing, smiley faces. Taking a shower this morning, and I was trying to wash them off, and I thought, no, wait a second. Smiley faces are like one of the secrets to my success when I'm teaching, particularly because I teach little kids all the time. And so when you're teaching little kids, and even some adults, when I use the phrase left or right, it doesn't, and it's kind of funny that I actually do left and right, because I teach so much. I often teach mirror image, so to my class, my right hand is their left hand, and vice versa. So even within my own language, I very often will say left side when I'm doing the right side. And my very analytical people, they'll lift their right hand. That's the best way. If you're teaching a class, the easiest way for you to tell if somebody is a super left brain logical kind of person is just say, hey, do what I do. And if they go mirror image, they're not going to overthink their technique. But if they look at you and they raise their right hand when you raise your left hand, then you know that you should probably turn around and teach so that they can just be the same as you. So anyway, smiley faces. I use smiley faces on my hands with my students when they're having trouble going the correct direction, especially teaching kata, right? I need to go left, they need to go left, so this is not an opposite situation. This is you don't know your left from your right, so I'm going to create a shortcut. So I get out my Sharpie, and I draw a smiley face on my side. I know that's not a Sharpie, but whatever. It was what was on the table. So I get out a Sharpie, and I draw a smiley face on my hand, on my left hand, and then I take all of their left hands, and I draw smiley faces on their left hands. Now, I learned this in Rad Kids. In Rad Kids, we wear a band, and we do it specifically for the dominant side, because in Rad Kids, we teach self-defense, and we just teach the self-defense to the dominant side. So, but in karate, obviously I need left and right. So the left side is the smiley face, and then the right side is the sad face. And what I learned this week, one of my kids taught me, he said, Sensei, because we started doing the kata, and the first time we did the kata, we didn't have the smiley faces. And so the first time we did the kata, I was left, they were right, they were going that direction, I was going that direction. So the smiley face does a couple things. It anchors the kids in paying attention to their sides. It gives them like something fun, and some of them think it's naughty because it's permanent marker, and they say, Sensei, Lisa, is this gonna come off? And I go, well, no, but your skin, you know, the marker won't come off, but your skin does, so you're good. It'll change in a few days. And so anyway, so then we start doing the kata. And I said, you know, look to the smiley side, down, block, smiley, punch sad. Down, block, sad, scoop, bop, stomp, punch, happy. Look over your happy side, down, block, happy, right? And so we went through this 3 or 4 times, and immediately the kids did better. Immediately the kids do better because now that they'll punch and they can look. Oh, that's not the smiley side, and they can switch it. Or they've already attached. They've attached to the smiley and the sad. And so one of the kids, he's right next to me, right at my hip, and he looks up to me and he goes, I'm going to do a sad face when we do the sad side. And I was like, light bulb moment, that's even better. Because the more things that I can get involved for my students to use when they're learning, and by that I mean sight, sound, and feeling. So now if I can attach a feeling to the particular thing we're doing, like down, block, happy, and everybody smiles, punch sad, and everybody's sad, uses a sad face, then I know that it's going to stick better, they're going to learn it faster, and then even when they're home practicing, they can do a rising block and go, oh, wait, that was supposed to be the sad side, and then they can fix it. So anyway, those are the 3 things that I learned this week, is that when you're in a position of power, it is easy to be a bully, and so make sure that you use kind words, and if you mess up when you're the one in charge, set the example, give a good apology. Second thing I learned this week is I am so thankful for a good night's sleep and this beautiful space to be able to work in. And the third thing I learned is that smiley faces can help teach kata. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the dojo.